Texan Global School. Addition and subtraction between fractions. In this class, we will analyze the processes to perform additions and subtractions between fractions. The addition or subtraction between fractions with like denominators is performed using the following algorithm. The fraction's numerators are added or subtracted, and the denominator d passes as the denominator of the resulting fraction. Let us look at the first example. Perform the following operation. As we can see, both fractions have like denominators. Therefore, we add the numerators, and the denominator passes exactly the same as the common denominator. We then add 2 plus 5 and divide it by 3. We obtain as a resulting fraction 7/3. In this other example, we can see that the fractions also have like denominators. We then subtract the numerators, and the denominator goes exactly the same as resulting denominator. So we subtract 8 minus 3, resulting 5, and divide it by the common denominator 10. However, this resulting fraction can be simplified. As in previous classes, we will obtain the prime factors of the numerator and denominator. In this case, the numerator 5 is a prime number, therefore it is left indicated. The denominator 10 can be separated into prime factors 2 times 5. In this case, we cancel identical factors. In this case 5, and a simplified fraction results, which is an equivalent fraction of 1/2, or 1/2. In this other example, we have 3 fractions with combined operations. The same algorithm is applied since they have the same denominator. We perform the operation of the numerator, 14 plus 3 minus 8, and divide by the denominator 5. We thus obtain 9/5. We must remember how the least common multiple is obtained before analyzing the algorithm to solve fractions with unlike denominators. The least common multiple of a set of numbers is the minimum number capable of being divided by each given number. The least common multiple is calculated by obtaining the prime factors of each number. Then the least common multiple will be the product of the common and uncommon factors. In the following example, we will obtain the least common multiple of 12, 24, and 32. We place the numbers horizontally apart and draw a vertical line. We will place the multiples of these numbers on the right, and the result of the division on the left. At least one of those numbers is divisible by 2, so we write the 2 on the right side. We divide the numbers by this value and write the results on the left side. In this case, 6, 12, and 16. We can divide by 2 again, since at least one number is divisible by this prime number. We write on the right side the 2 and the result of the division on the left side. We have 3, 6, and 8. Once again, at least one number is a multiple of 2. We write the 2 on the right side and the result of the division on the left side. We can see that 3 is not divisible by 2, so it remains indicated as is. We thus obtain 3, 3, and 4. We divide by 2 again since at least one number is divisible. We obtain 3, 3, and 2. Again by 2 resulting 3, 3, and 1. Finally, we divide by 3 resulting 1, 1, and 1. The product of these multiples will be the least common multiple of that set of numbers, which is 96. Since it is the smallest number capable of being divided by all those numbers. In this other example, we will obtain the least common multiple of 10, 15, and 20. We obtain the prime factors. We start with 2 since, at least, one number is divisible. When dividing, we have 5, 15, and 10. Once again, by 2 obtaining 5, 15, and 5. Now by 3 resulting 5, 5, and 5. The last multiple is 5. Therefore, the least common multiple of 10, 15, and 20 is 60. The addition between fractions with unlike denominators is performed by calculating the least common multiple of the denominators. This is called the least common denominator. Once the lowest common denominator has been calculated, we divide it by each denominator of the fractions. Then, each result is multiplied by its corresponding numerator. Let us look at an example. We will perform the following operation. As we can see, it has unlike denominators. So we obtain the least common denominator of 15, 3, and 6, which is 30. Now we divide 30 by each denominators of the fractions, and we multiply the result with the corresponding numerator. So 30 divided by 15 is 2, times the numerator 1. Then 30 divided by 3 is 10, times the numerator 2. Finally, 30 divided by 6 is 5, times the numerator 5. Once the algorithm has been applied to add or subtract fractions with different denominators, we perform the products and then additions and subtractions by the hierarchy of operations, thus obtaining 7/30. In this last example, we also have fractions with unlike denominators. We then calculate the least common denominator of 10, 12, and 6, which, as can be seen in the process, is 60. We divide the 60 by each of the denominators. So, 60 divided by 10 is 6, times the numerator 3. Now, 60 divided by 12 is 5, times the numerator 7. And finally, 60 divided by 6 is 10, times the numerator 5. When performing the products, additions, and subtractions, results 3/60, which can be simplified to 1/20. Texan Global School. Global online learning. Knowledge for the world. www.texanglobalschool.com